Hello and welcome to my studio journal. Now back in 2022, I started to redesign my home studio, shifting from software to hardware for the first time. What began as a few videos for some curious students soon became an ongoing unfiltered record. So this is day 9 and we're back off to the music store to try and find some patch cables. I would really like to see patch cables kind of before I buy them. Like I got the ones that were from Monoprice, which are pretty good. But I think they're okay as long as they're like set it and forget it type of thing. I could see where if you were to bend those cables back and forth and use them a lot, they would probably just snap. They're very stiff cable. So I mean, I could see if those, you could just tell if you were to bend them too much, they would certainly snap in half. Okay, so we're in luck. They did have them, so here are the patch cables. You see how they're very pliable, so the thing is they're going to last for a little bit longer than the other ones I have. And these are ones in a place that I'm going to have to do a lot of bending of the wires, so I didn't want to cheap out on them. Anyhow, back to it then. I got these cords right here, which I picked up earlier in the day, and I'm going to go and set them up. There's something about this wall over here that's just not right. Well, there's a lot about it that's not right. You got racks in 2 different areas as opposed to 1, and the racks that are in the 2 different areas don't make sense because you have the compressor over in the one area and you have the patch bay over in the other. And the patch bay really should be hooked to the compressor, and the compressor, all that should be in and amongst with the audio interface. That should be all okay. When I started this studio build, I knew exactly what I was going to be doing on the piano wall. I knew exactly what I was going to be doing on this main production desk. I knew what I was going to be doing with the secondary production desk. So I could plan that out all really, really well. What I wasn't aware of is how I was going to set up the electrical on the far wall there with the 2 different power conditioners. I wasn't expecting to get an outboard compressor. So that kind of changed things. The patch bay is something that I'm not used to using. So once again, I added something to the mix that I'm not entirely sure how I wanted to have it set up. But I added 2 new things that I wasn't really prepared and didn't do a whole lot of research on. I know they can be useful, and I know they will be useful, like with the patch bay. Take any one of the synths from there and just patch it in and go straight to the ins of the machine. It's really late. I only got like 4 hours of sleep. I'm feeling very comfortable about these first 3 walls being done. If I could have all of the rack units in one spot, that would be awesome, but I can't. Okay, so this is where things get a little bit mixed up. If we see here, we have the mixer. Everything along that wall gets plugged into that mixer, and that's a good place for that mixer. Underneath it is the power conditioner and the patch bay. Once again, having the patch bay next to the mixer makes total sense, and having the power conditioner on this wall where everything can plug into to control this side of the wall makes total and complete sense. Now we look over at this other side of the wall over here, and having the power conditioner control this section is absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But having the compressor there is problematic. What the problem is that the audio interface is right there. It's underneath the lip of this desk. So in order for the outs of that interface to go to the compressor, it has to go all the way across this room again, over there to the compressor. And then once it's the compressor, it has to relay that message back all the way over here to the audio interface. And that's a lot of going back and forth. I got so involved with what I was doing that I never actually, I didn't take any breaks. So by the end of the day, things were just going terribly, terribly wrong. So the first thing was this patch bay and power conditioner over there didn't fit in that space. It was really a minor thing. I just cut it down to size. So, okay, so now that's fixed. The second problem was that you couldn't see the light on the face of that because the light was right over top of it. So we fixed that. That's in place now. So those 2 things are done. So now what I'm going to do is start working on patching up just a few things. What I'd like to do is maybe hook in the mixer to the main monitors, if possible. And also the other thing I might want to do is hook machine into the patch bay. I could still probably hide some of the USB cords, but because it is 1:30 in the morning, I'm probably not going to do all that much. I might even just label the cords tonight. I'm starting to run into a deadline where I actually have to have this ready for getting back to work here. So anyhow, with that, we'll see how it goes with the cable labeling. Like I said, I'm so beat that might be where it is. So I have to have a mic that comes out of the mixing board, which uses that end. Then the end that goes into the actual monitor switch is 1/4 inch balanced. So then I have this end that plugs into the other end of the mic. These two cords alone make just one run for the right channel into the speaker switch. Then I have to do the exact same thing with another two cords connected together to run the other channel out to the speaker switch. The Machine Plus is a 1/4 inch jack, and the patch bay is a 1/4 inch jack. So once again, I have to take two cords. Both have kind of like a mic fitting an XLR at the end. They're going to click together and give me a 1/4 inch balanced on each side. That's the only way I can do it. So either way, that's how all these cables have to be run. If you'd like to follow the full journey, check out my online studio journal linked in the description. Until next time, I'm just a music teacher having fun. Catch you on the next one.